Welcome back, Wastelanders. Today we're going to be arming ourselves with another 5 extremely useful and legendary weapons you can get early on in Fallout 4 that are sure to aid you on your adventure. We'll be obtaining everything from sniper rifles to the best melee weapons in the entire game. Some of these weapons can stop enemies in their tracks, while others can deliver over 7,000 damage a hit. All of these weapons can be obtained at level 1 if you follow this guide closely. I'll also be showing you the best perks for each weapon too. So firstly, did you know that we can pick up one of the most versatile weapons in Fallout 4, the combat rifle, at level 1, right at the start of the game? While this weapon does not have any legendary effects, it is still one of the best rifles in Fallout 4. Thanks to its versatility. You can upgrade it to be one of the most powerful snipers or even outperform assault rifles as an automatic weapon. This is how you can obtain it for yourself. You can actually do this straight after you leave the vault and end up in Sanctuary. Very early on, you're going to go over the bridge to the Red Rocket truck stop, and then you're going to come to the town of Concord where you'll meet Preston. Now after you finish the quest on the top left here at Concord, you can then make your way down the road that you can see on the map here, and you're going to go all the way down here until you reach the Starlight Drive-In. Once you get to this location, you can head directly east under the bypass and just to the north of this lake. And then if you head south down the road, you'll reach the town of Covenant in the bottom right corner here. You can easily get to the town of Covenant without encountering any enemies, especially if you stick to the road. But here we are on the outside of town, and you can see the lake and overpass road behind me to the west. But now we're going to be heading north down this road until we come to a crossroads where we're then going to go east. And if we continue down this road, we'll eventually come to a ambushed caravan, or what's left of it. And it's here that we're going to find 2 useful weapons. Firstly, we have the laser pistol, which can actually be modified into a laser rifle at a weapons workbench. It's also one of the earlier locations you can find a laser pistol. But most importantly, on this next body, we find the combat rifle. Again, this is the earliest place you can find it in the game. Interestingly though, if you come back at a higher level, this character will actually be wearing combat armor. And you can see he's now got an automatic assault rifle instead, and the heavy combat right arm. Now if you do want to get a full set of combat armor at level 1, check out my other video linked below. Now if you take the combat rifle to a workbench, you can make it fully automatic or even turn it into a sniper rifle. And even if you change the ammo type, it still remains one of the most powerful weapons in the game, with the non-automatic damage scaling off the rifleman perk and the automatic damage scaling off the commando perk. You can also grab Bloody Mess for another 15% boost in damage. But next I'm going to be showing you a better legendary sniper rifle, which comes with some very powerful modifications. But before we check out our next weapon, I actually just finished painting these miniature dioramas from the Fallout TV show, and I'm going to be giving them away as part of a raffle. So if you want to win Dogmeat and the Ghoul or Maximus in power armor, check out the link in my profile description. We're also going to be raffling off Lucy for charity. So you start the game here at the vault in Sanctuary. And we're going to go all the way to the east, and we're going to carry on going until we reach the coastline. And once you're here, you're going to find a location called Salem. This is a small town on the coastline that you're going to want to travel to. And if we actually zoom into the town of Salem here, just to the north of the town, you're going to find the Rook family house. This is the location we want to come to. It's actually located on the far northeast cliff of the Commonwealth. It's the house with the destroyed roof, just here. Once you arrive, you'll see Barney shooting Mirelurks from atop the roof. You'll need to help him by taking out 3 Mirelurks, but don't worry. They won't actually attack you unless you aggro them by going too close. But one really easy way to deal with them is to actually jump over this rusty fence to the right of the house. And if you're standing on the other side of the fence, they won't actually be able to attack you. You can then easily shoot them through this hole here. Just keep hopping in and out until all the Mirelurks are dead. Make sure that you aim for the inside of the shell though, otherwise you won't be doing any damage to them. After all 3 Mirelurks are defeated, Barney will call down from the rooftops and open the gate to let you inside. But before you follow him into the bunker, if you actually head up the stairs and onto the rooftop, here you can find some ammunition boxes and an advertisement for the new Fallout themed merch. The Conversation Starter t-shirt will help you find other Fallout players in real life. But you can find much more in the store from the link below. Don't forget to use code ESO5 for 5% off your first order. Now there are two ways to get this first legendary weapon. Firstly, we can skip the quest entirely by killing Barney. So come on inside and hey look, it's a grenade. So now Barney's dead, we can go ahead and loot his unique Reaper hunting rifle. And on his body, we're going to find Barney's key, along with some ammunition. Now this key can be used to open the door here, and inside here we're going to find the legendary Reaper 2. Alternatively, if you don't want to miss out on the quest experience, you can talk to him to pick up his quest Gun Run, where Barney will ask you to reactivate his turrets around town. Now before you go and embark on this quest, you will actually want to come over here and grab the Guns and Bullets magazine. This is incredible for any gunslinger. It makes ballistic weapons permanently do plus 5% critical damage. One of the most useful magazines in the game, in fact. And then we can head outside. This is going to add the miscellaneous quest to your diary to activate Barney's turrets. If you look on the map and zoom in, it will actually show you where each one of the turrets is located. You can find the first turret terminal up the scaffolding opposite you. Once on the rooftop, come through this broken wall and carry on up the stairs to the roof here. You can activate the terminal with Barney's password to reactivate the turret. From here, if you follow your footsteps backwards and drop back down, there's a hole in the wall where you'll find another turret. Once this is activated, you can look across to the west and you'll see another turret in the building opposite you, which you can access by climbing up the scaffolding. So just run around town following where the objective markers are to get to the turrets, activate them, and they'll actually help you take out all of the Mirelurks around the town. You can get to the top of the church by coming on inside, taking the left entrance, which will lead you to a staircase that takes you all the way up to the roof. After you climb up to the tower, you'll find another terminal which you can activate for the turrets on the church roof. Opposite the church, you'll find another terminal to activate the next turret. And once the quest is completed, we can return to Barney's bunker where he will reward you with 350 XP and a key to his workshop. So now we've got Barney's key, we can actually go ahead and open his door. Maybe we turn our Pip-Boy on here and come inside. We can see the legendary Reaper 2 sitting on the table. So if we pick this up, we're going to find it does 50% more damage against Mirelurks and bugs. Now the legendary effect is probably one of the worst in the game because it's very rare that you'll end up firing a sniper rifle at Mirelurks and bugs. And those enemies just aren't really very common at all. So the main reason we pick this up is really because it's a sniper rifle. Now right behind you, you will find a weapons workbench so you can upgrade it straight away. My version of the sniper rifle comes with the 50 caliber receiver, but you can change it back to the 38 one for a more common ammo type. We also have the long ported barrel, which maximizes our range, marksman stock, which gives you better recoil and accuracy. It also has the quick eject magazine, but I'd actually recommend putting in the large quick eject magazine, with the only negative side effect that it makes it slightly heavier. We also have the long night vision scope, which is terrible during the daytime. My personal favorite is actually putting a medium scope on the weapon, since then you can use it at long range or close up still. And then you have the muzzle, and it is possible to put a bayonet on the front, but the most useful thing is to put a suppressor on there, because if you're in close combat with a sniper rifle, something's gone terribly wrong. Now if you want the unique Reaper 1 sniper rifle, you can also kill Barney, the last resident of Salem, just to loot him for the unique Reaper rifle. Now it has no legendary effects, it's just got a unique name. It does however have a chance to spawn with a random leveled weapon mod that you may be able to make use of early on in the game. To do the most damage, you obviously want the Rifleman and the Bloody Mess perk. The next legendary weapon we can pick up is the Wastelander's Friend, a 10mm pistol with the crippling legendary effect. effect. Now this weapon is incredible for blowing up people's faces and simply obliterating their kneecaps so they'll never walk again. You'll now be able to make death claws and super mutant behemoths defenseless by targeting their legs. I'll explain why that's going to be extremely useful to you in a moment. But to get the Wasteland's Friend, we need to go to Bunker's Hill. To come southeast from Sanctuary, past the Museum of Freedom in Concord, all the way past the bypass over here, and then we're going to go southeast from Covenant as well, past the Trucker Memorial Bridge, until we get over here to Bunker Hill. Now, Bunker Hill essentially operates as a trading hub. You can find a lot of different traveling merchants at this location. Once you come up to the entrance, you'll be confronted.
What?
I said caravan or raider. Which are you?
And make sure that you say that you're not a raider. After that, you'll be able to proceed inside, and this is essentially a trading hub area for all the merchants that come and go from this location. So if you come on inside, we're actually looking for a character called Deb. She's wearing the blue Red Rocket jumpsuit. Now, she'll sometimes be in this big sort of trading area. If not, she'll be sleeping somewhere. She's going to sell you the Wastelander's Friend, which is going to be around 900 caps depending on your character's charisma skill. I assume if you've made it to Bunker's Hill, you probably have that many caps by now. But if you do need some help getting more caps, check out my guide below on how to make lots of money very quickly in Fallout 4. As you guys can see, the fully automatic version makes it quite hard to accurately hit enemy limbs. And it also only does 66 damage, but if we go for the advanced receiver, it will do 93 damage and the gun will be far more accurate in VATS and when we're shooting it manually, making it easier to do that limb damage, which allows us to make use of the legendary effect. Next, we're going for the long ported barrel to increase our range. We're also going to do the same with the sharpshooter's grip. Even though it makes the weapon heavier, I do prefer the large quick eject mag just to have more rounds in the chamber. While you can put a scope on this weapon, the circle reflex sight is much better for medium to short range combat, and I highly recommend you put a suppressor on because it allows you to make use of some really powerful perks. The best perks for the Wastelander's Friends are the Gunslinger, Bloody Mess, and if you attach a silencer, get the Ninja perk to make your sneak attacks do another 3.4 times damage, plus the Mr. Sandman perk for another 50% boost, and then you've obviously got the 50% crippling damage legendary effect too, which means you're doing another 440% more damage to enemies' limbs. Next though, we'll be getting the best melee weapon in the game, which can deal thousands of damage a hit. I'll explain how after we obtain it. So to get this hidden secret weapon, you're going to want to come east from Diamond City. And if you go through the city over here, you'll eventually come to this large clearing where you'll find Swan's Pond, just here on the map. It's very close to Boston Common, and you'll probably walk past it during the main quest line because it has you walking around this area. So here we are at Swan's Pond, and if I go and enter that, you can see he has Sneak 100. Look at this. But since we have the Wastelander's Friend pistol, all we need to do is prioritize shooting his kneecaps. Now, I would actually recommend not using VATS for this, because in VATS you shoot a lot slower, which allows him to run up to you and melee attack you, and normally he'll kill you in one hit. So instead, position yourself near a tree where you can avoid his rock throw attack, and then just lay into his kneecaps. I actually managed to get him stuck behind this tree, and as you can see, once you've broken one of his legs, he'll then just be slowly walking towards you, and then you can continuously shoot him until he dies. Now, if you watched my last video and you got the legendary unique weapon called Big Jim, and I'll leave a link to how to get that weapon in the description, you'll actually find this boss fight ridiculously easy, even as a melee combatant, because as you know, Big Jim has a very high chance to instantly cripple an enemy's leg. So as you can see, just two, and now he's just hobbling after me. I can wail on his other leg, reducing him to this really pitiful sitting state. And if you actually take out both of his legs, he'll just be on the ground, sitting there, waiting to die. Poor Swanee boy, you can't do anything, can you? Get wrecked, son! Now he can pick up his legendary weapon, the Furious Power Fist. What happens if you really are level 1 and you want a really easy approach to this boss fight? Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. If you turn around, you'll see this giant red building behind you. And just in front of it, you'll see like there's this red church building. So that's what you're going to use to orientate yourself here. And from here, if you just head to the right of this building, of this big red church here, and then you walk onwards to the right, you'll actually find there's a car park around the corner here. And you can go up to the top of this car park using the ramp here. Then go around and you'll see a door opposite you. Head through the door and just carry on going up these stairs. And then you'll reach the top. And now if you look opposite you, you'll see there's like a rusty sort of staircase here. And you can actually hop on top of this little ridge here. And then you can jump on top of this container. And from here you can then jump on this stone building. And now we have a really nice view of Swan's Pond. As you can see, Swan is just down there in the pond. So what we're going to want to do now is save the game first. So if we hop on top of this right here, and then we can get our sniper out, we can zoom in on Swan, who's just chilling there in the pond. We'll save the game before we do this. And just to show you guys, this character is level 1, as you can see. We've also got the Reba 2 sniper rifle that I showed you how to get earlier. We're now going to shoot him. And we're going to get 2 times sneak attack damage. Now currently, I have the game on very hard. But if we put it down to very easy, it's going to make it possible for us to actually kill him if we have enough ammo. If I don't hit trees in between us, there we go, double damage. We're just going to sit here and lay into him. We'll even get a few critical hits in there. Now as he gets close to you, he will start trying to throw some rocks at you. Like this, and then if you just walk backwards, he'll actually miss you every time. So just keep peeking out, shooting him once, and then carry on going until he eventually dies. You can even swap to other weapons and just lay into him. Alternatively, if you get really bored, you can just pull out that fat man I showed you how to get last episode, look over the side and be like, see ya later! And yeah, he's going to get wrecked by that. But now we can just parkour our way down, like parkour! Ow! And here he is. We can pick up that Furious Power Fist. And getting this at level 1 for an unarmed build is so worth it. It is the best unarmed melee weapon in the entire game. Nothing comes close. Now the Furious Power Fist with the puncturing upgrade, which this weapon already comes with, makes this the best unarmed weapon in the game, with armor piercing and superior damage. Now you can alternatively add the heating coil, which lets you do energy damage, but it's actually nowhere near as good in terms of damage. So I'd highly recommend keeping it as the puncturing setup. Now with 10 strength and the Iron Fist and Bloody Mess perks, the Furious Power Fist deals 465 damage. However, if we also get the Rooted perk, we can increase the damage by a further 50% if we attack when standing still, which happens whenever you're in VATS. This increases our damage to 700 a hit. Now the Furious legendary effect that this Power Fist has will also increase our damage by another 15% with each consecutive hit. This means that it's possible to deal over 1,000 damage with this weapon if you're just pounding the same target. But if you have the Ninja perk, you can also sneak attack enemies for times 10 damage. This means our sneak attacks would deal 7,000 damage in total. But in the famous words of Todd Howard, it just works. Unfortunately, one area where it doesn't just work is that for some reason you can't wear power armor while using the Power Fist. But luckily, I have made a video on where you can get the powerful heavy combat armor even at level 1. One of the best armors you can get early on in the game. So check out that video next, and happy fisting. Sounded better in my head.